To the Wizarding Disciplinary Board. I write to inform you that due to some complications, the disciplinary report for Mr. Barry Baxter for the month of December may arrive behind schedule. As to a general report, I can tell you that under my watchful eye, Barry has begun to show improvement. But to say that this has been without difficulty would be negligent. He still shows a lack of respect for authority, and doesn't take his punishment seriously. So, more of the same. And to address the claim which my colleague made, that my charge, Mr. Baxter, somehow fled the country without my knowing, well, I don't think I need to explain what a ludicrous claim that is. And even if Mr. Baxter did somehow escape to America... Scratch that. Even if Mr. Baxter did escape my attention, I assure you he wouldn't get very far. If I can track down the elusive Percival Greystone in the course of a week, I can catch a delinquent dropout. Chicago, the Windy City. 2.7 million people with something to hide. Vegans, politicians, amateur YouTubers with mediocre spin-off web series. But me, I'm looking for just one needle in this hipster haystack. One person in 2.7 million. They say the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, so I thought I'd see what kind of tree a bad apple like Barry Baxter fell from. After all, where else would a delinquent cub go when the shit hits the fan but back to Mama Bear? His mother, though, wasn't very helpful, as she had thought Baxter was still at school, and the news came shockingly. She clearly had a lot on her mind, so I relieved her of some of it, specifically the part about me. A quick search of the house turned up nothing, and Cecil couldn't catch a scent. If our man had been there, it hadn't been for a while. With no other kin mentioned in Baxter's files, it seemed the trail had, much like my coffee, gone cold. I was back to square one, looking for one man in 2.7 million. In the face of such a Sisyphean task, even the hardest boiled Auror would balk. But of course, if his antics at school were any indication, a dolt like Mr. Barry Baxter carried all the subtlety and discretion of a marching band, crossed with the running of the bulls and a train wreck. If he was in the city, I was going to find him. It was just a matter of asking the right questions.
Hello?
Good afternoon, ma'am.
My name is Ardeth Van Trask.
Ardeth Van Trask. I'm with the Neighborhood Watch. May I ask you a few short questions?
Okay, just a few. All right.
A few short questions. Have you noticed anything unusual in your area?
No.
Any unusual noises in the area?
No.
Pops. Whistles.
No.
Bangs.
May I come?
Does the word Hogwarts mean anything to you?
Dude, that sounds like pretty intense shit. Like, what is Kush, Indigo? I mean, clean. Clean for a month.
Have you noticed anything floating?
Do you mean like paranormal activity? Now that you mention it, I have seen my grandmother. This wouldn't be weird to you, except the fact that Grandma's dead.
It was a different world I found myself in. And it wasn't all the one-woman shows or the fact that no one says aluminium correctly. In the wizarding world, I could practically hear stomachs dropping and blood freezing as I walked by, with the slightest sidelong glance, I could have the most loyal crony singing louder than the Hogwarts Frog Choir.
She said no more sugar. She's telling me I'm putting too much sugar in the pie. I was making a pie.
I remember when the very name, Ardeth Van Trask, worked the same magic as a butterbeer laxative. But here...
Have you read my blog on MK Ultra?
Here, where they didn't know my name, my face, the things I had done.
This you come back from the dead. This is what you're telling me.
Where magic and wizardry was as foreign as gluten, I was a toothless wolf among blind sheep.
We're running short on time, Cecil. The disciplinary board is beginning to ask questions. That, and we need to find a new apartment on Airbnb before the Andersons get back from the Dells.
We are in a bind, my friend. Ours is the unenviable task of enlisting Muggles in a wizard hunt. All the while keeping up our centuries-old charade that wizards don't exist.
Much longer. And I'll have to find a way to explain to the disciplinary board how the greatest Auror of his time, former greatest Auror of his time, managed to lose a 20-something delinquent flunky. How did it come to this?
Cecil, don't look now. But I said don't look now. But I believe that woman is looking at you. But if she can see you, that means...
Wait here. Don't frighten her. If we play our cards right, she may be a lead. Miss! Excuse me! Bollocks! Cecil! Of course. The one sign of promise we've had in weeks, and it's gone. I don't understand it, Cecil. I really don't. It's as if the universe amuses itself by throwing us a bone before immediately taking it back. What would you have then? Any other false slivers of hope you'd like to give me? Why, thank you, Cecil. Very helpful. We lost the witch, but perhaps we could interrogate her paper bag! Worthless floating oil spill. Scent? From this? Are you sure? It's not just the scent of some other... This is his handwriting. Elixir of despair. Why, this potion has been removed from market for years. However did... Unless... This day may not have been a waste after all. Come, Cecil.
So it would seem that our man, Mr. Baxter, has found himself involved in the black market potion ring, which narrows our search considerably. One small stroke of luck in this sea of dead ends. Though I don't believe in luck myself, I believe in sweat. The more you sweat, the luckier you are. And I hope you're sweating now, Mr. Baxter, because you'll need all the luck you can get once I finally track you down. Wherever in this damned city you're hiding.
Why were you keeping pixies in the first place?
Less talky, more catchy.